Basics here. I want to welcome you back to my channel. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome to the fam. I hope you press that subscribe button on the way out. And if you're one of my loyal, beautiful followers from the beginning, thank you so much for coming back. So let me just say right off the hop what a huge fan I am of Tarte Cosmetics. I absolutely love their mascara, their lights, camera, lashes. I love that mascara. I love their blushes. I love their lip paints. All of those are just amazing. But when it comes to eyeshadow, these guys know exactly what's up because I am a huge fan of all of their palettes. Of course, when they came out with the original Tartelette palette, you know I jumped all over it because this bad boy is so beautiful. It's one of those palettes that's just perfect for every day to wear to work. Like when you don't know what to wear, it's one of those palettes that you can grab and go to because it is definitely one of my go-to palettes when I don't know what I want to do. I will grab this bad boy and I know when I open it, I'm going to find something beautiful, simple, and something that's going to last all day. Love the cool tone of this as well. And of course, the packaging is always beautiful with Tartelette. They always get it right with the packaging. So of course, when they came out with the Tartelette in Bloom palette, I was all over it because when I saw that it actually came with pops of shimmer in there, I was like, yes, please. I was all over this palette. I love how neutral they still kept it, but the pops of shimmer just give you that variety of looks that you can go for. It's just a little bit more on the warmer side, but I do love this palette so much. And of course, they kept it cute with the packaging as always. But I always wondered, why don't they come up with a palette that has just a little more variation of color, because I love the blendability of their matte shadows. So I was saying, you know, they need to come up with some more colors. So when I saw that they were coming out with this bad boy, I was like, yes, please. I was so excited to hear that they were coming out with a Tarte Permanent Pro palette from their clay eyeshadows. I was just so excited. I had to get my hands on it. I had to. And of course, the colors are just beautiful. I am so happy I got a chance to get my hands on this when it first launched. I just had to. I don't know what else to say. Are you seeing the color selection with the mattes here and the square pans? Just beautiful. You will see that each line is actually a look. I love the first line here is like a brown kind of rust neutral kind of look with that pop of gold at the end there. Then your second line is like a plum look, which is just beautiful. You have your third row down, which is like a berry, kind of raspberry kind of look going on there with your red colors and your pop of purple. And that last row, which is more up on the neutral side, but you have that pop of blue in there, which is what I use today. This palette is, so if you guys don't have it, believe me, after these swatches, you'll want to get this bad boy because this palette is definitely woman of color friendly. I'm going to show you that exactly on my deep skin tone, and I'm not afraid of this palette at all. I feel like I can pull out each and every one of these colors in a different way, okay? So without further ado, let's get into some swatches. So to start off this swatching session, I just love looking at this palette. It's so sexy. I'm going to be swatching row by row, okay? So it's going to be basically your left, my right, across, first, second, third, and fourth row, okay? And just to give you an idea of what brushes I'm going to be using for the swatches, just to let you know, for the foil shadows, I'm going to be using this kind of style of brush rather, because I find that these ones actually pick up the foil formula and lay it down a lot nicer than a fluffier brush. So this is what I'm going to use for that. Dry, of course, so that you can see how they lay down. And of course, for the matte shadows, I'm going to be using a couple of different fluffy kind of brushes. This kind of flat top one kind of just to help spread the color out a little bit. But I do prefer these two type of style fluffy brushes for using Tarte's eyeshadows, because I find with their matte formulas, because the formula is so rich and buttery, that when you're dipping in with the brush, it does tend to kick up just a little bit. I mean, I don't mind because the color like payoff that you get is totally worth it. So yeah, these are the brushes I'm going to be using for the mattes, and these are the brushes that I'm going to be using for the foils. So the first row in the palette I'm going to be talking to you about is this row right here, as I told you before. Your first color is called Classic. That's that kind of, this color is kind of, I would say this is almost a bone white color. It's kind of an off-white. It's not fully white, but it really blends out beautifully on the skin. It doesn't come off really whitish and ashy. Well, I mean, it might be a little bit ashy on my skin tone, but I find that it does blend out really beautifully, like to a soft color. Then your second color is Innocent. this beautiful kind of, I would call this a very light tan brown. This is a really light tan brown. I like this color. It was perfect for a transition color for me. I used it, sorry, not a transition color. When I laid down my lid primer, I used this to set it, and I love the way that it came off. It was super creamy. It didn't come off really stark and white. It was gorgeous. Then the third color is Whimsy. This is that rustish color right there. This is the perfect transition color. This orangey color is perfect. I absolutely love it. And of course I used it today. Then the fourth color is Smoked. That's your last matte shadow in top row. Okay. A really beautiful chocolate brown color. Gorgeous. Then the last color, which is your foil, is called Ethereal, which is a very, like a deep golden color. Really, really pretty. Okay. And of course, here are the swatches on my arm. Okay, so there's Classic. That's my finger swipe, and there's the brush swatch next to it. See what I mean when I say it doesn't come off extremely stark when you use the brush? So I do like how this would look possibly in the brow bone or in the corner of the eye to kind of brighten up a matte look or brighten up any eye look, really. It's beautiful, bone color. Then, as I told you, the second color is Innocent, which is this brownish color right next to it. As you can see, it swatches almost the same color as my skin. I had to go in with my finger so that it could actually show up, but it's a really nice brown color. Then your brush swatch is right next to it. See what I mean? And it's just like, it's perfect. It's a perfect brown color. Then you have Whimsy, which is this kind of rustish brown orangey color right here, which is just perfect for a transition color. As I told you today, I used it and it blended into my skin tone beautifully. Gorgeous. So there's your finger swipe and your brush swatch right next to it. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's almost the same color as me. And then you have Smoked, which is that beautiful dark fudge brown color in the palette. Very gorgeous dark brown, great for smoking out an eye look without being too black. I really love it. Here's your finger swatch and your brush swatch next to it. And the last color, of course, is Ethereal, sorry. That's the finger swipe right here and the brush swatch next to it. I absolutely love how shimmery this color is. It's really, really pretty. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, but it's gorgeous. All right, so let's get on to the second row. So for the second row, that's the plum row, I call it. Okay, I'm going to be swatching these colors from your left, my right, all the way across, okay? So first up, you have Vintage, okay, which is a great kind of a either a blue or a pink kind of undertone, whitish kind of color. Really great on a fair skin tone. They would really be able to work with this color. For me, I would think I would probably use this as a very light transition color or something in the corner of the eye. Then next to that, you have Fierce, which is this really great cool tone purpley color. I really love this. Really, really, really pretty. Okay. Second to that is No Filter. Okay, it's a really great kind of a very warm plum color. Very, very pretty. I absolutely love the way this color looks on my skin tone. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, but it swatches beautifully. Then last up you have Vamp, which is a really great kind of eggplant type of purple color. Really beautiful for smoking out any kind of smoky eye without using a straight up black so it doesn't look too, fierce. But yeah, I mean, of course you want your makeup to look fierce always, right? But sometimes you don't want it to be too bold, and I like that color for that. Then you have your last color, which is the foil, which is Glam, which is absolutely beautiful. These are duochromes from what I'm reading online, and everybody's saying that they are actually duochromes because when you look at Glam, actually, it has kind of a pink iridescence to it, which is absolutely beautiful. I got a chance to use it in the corner of my eye today with this eye look that I'm wearing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the swatches on my arm. So as I showed you, that's Vintage. Whoops. I want to be able to tell you guys the names as I'm talking about it. Okay, so first up is Vintage. Like I said, if you can see it there, it has a white undertone, but it has some kind of a... it's a white color, but you can see that it has kind of an undertone to it. I mean, maybe on my skin it comes off more white than it actually is, but in the pan, it actually does have a pink or a purple undertone, which is really pretty. Then next to that, you have Fierce, which is that, like I said, that cool tone, great purpley color, which is awesome. And I don't go in very hard with the brush. I'm using this fluffy brush right here. I just go in the pen like this and then put it on my arm. So I'm not going in very hard in the pen at all to get this color payoff, which is great because that's the finger swatch and there's your brush swatch next to it. So you really do get great color payoff when you're using these colors. And then the third color is called No Filter. This is a really warm, plummy color, which I think is just beautiful. I love this against my skin tone. I know the next time I dip into this palette, this row is going to be the next one to get used. Gorgeous. Then your last color is Vamp, which is a really great eggplant kind of purple color. I love these kind of dark colors to smoke out any kind of smoky eye without using a straight on black color because you don't want it to look too fierce sometimes. Well, maybe not fierce. You always want your eyeshadow to look fierce, right? But not too in your face strong, if you know what I mean. It makes it a little more softer on the smoky side. Then you of course have those gorgeous foil colors. This is this is Glam, this gorgeous goldish kind of pink color so the goldish color with a type of pink shift to it, a very slight shift of pink to it. I think it's beautiful. There's your finger swipe and your brush swatch next to it. I find with these colors though, when I put this color down myself, because I'm actually wearing one of the colors on my lid right now, which is Trendy, this blue color at the bottom. And I find even when I went in with the flat shader brush that I did have to go in with a bit of Too Faced glitter glue to get it to come off like this because it's a beautiful color. But I find that even when I was doing the swatch on my hand, I really had to go in with the brush to get it to come off really, you know, popping on my skin. So keep that in mind that when you're using the duochrome colors that a glitter glue would be most advised so that you can get the best color up for the third row, which I call the fire row. I absolutely love the colors in this section. So pretty. First up, we have this really peachy color called Chic. Okay, really pretty. I love how this one swatches as well. Has a strong peach color to it. Very stark against the skin though, but it blends out really nicely and really pretty. But it would be nicer for a fair tone person. Really pretty though. Next color is Profesh. Yeah, Profesh. I thought I read that wrong. Next color is Profesh. This is a really beautiful beige border lining on taupey. I really love this color. It's so buttery smooth. Like, I don't know if you can notice in the pan there when I went in, it's so, like when I swirled my finger around, it just looks like butter. I swear to God, the colors are so soft. Third color is Maud, which is this beautiful berry red color. I absolutely love this color. Another color that I actually used today with this eye look. And your last color, which is Drama, which is a beautiful kind of, a very deep cranberry color. Really beautiful. Another color that I used today. Believe me, like I said, I went ham on this palette today. I used quite a few colors, but this mulberry color is this Drama color is extremely beautiful. It reminds me of a mulberry kind of berry color, which is really pretty. And the last foil shadow in this lineup is Minx. It's really pretty. I absolutely love the way that this color swatches right here. This very deep kind of burgundy kind of foil color. Super pretty against our skin tone dolls. And of course I'm going to show you those swatches. Like I said, you have Chic. There's your brush stroke and your finger swatch. Then you have Profesh, that gorgeous taupey kind of beige. The gorgeous taupey kind of beigey color. Really pretty. Love it. Your brush stroke and your finger swipe. Next color is Maud. Really pretty. There is your brush stroke. There's your finger swipe. This color, these two colors actually, I found that they build up really beautifully. If you go in really heavy with the brush though, you're going to get a lot of color on your brush. So go in very lightly because I said they are very buttery. So when you dip your brush in there, you might pick up too much product, and when you go to lay it down, it might be too much. So be very light-handed with these colors when you're going in with your brush. And your last color is Drama. Beautiful burgundy color. I absolutely love it. All these colors are just gorgeous. I think, like I said, this is my favorite row in the whole palette. And of course, you have your foil color, which is Minx. Beautiful kind of grape deep grape burgundy kind of foil color. I think it's super pretty. Of course, there's your finger swipe and your brush swatch next to it. Okay, dolls, so for the last row, I wish there was at least another 2 rows to go. I absolutely love this palette. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with Indie, okay, and the most stark color in the bottom row. This is also kind of a taupe, kind of beige kind of color, super white, you know, not a color that I'm going to get a lot of use out of. Right next to it is Bold. This is another color that's kind of on the peachy side of things, but this is really a lot paler than Innocent. I like the both of them, but I think they're both in the peach family, but definitely Bold would be a little bit more paler than Innocent, okay? Then you have Edgy, which is an amazing, amazing brown color. I actually went in with this color when I originally started this look thinking that this would be a good all-over lid color or a good transition color. This color is super dark. Like, I mean, it is really dark once you put it onto the eyelid and start to blend it out. It really shows up. So definitely not as dark as I thought it would be, and it might not show that dark in the pan, but it's actually a really nice chocolatey brown color. I really like it, milk chocolatey brown color, because this is more on the this color is more on the fudge side of brown. This is more on the milk chocolate side of brown, but they're both really strong browns. And then your last matte color in the palette is Punk, which is a black. I find that this black, though, even though you're going in, you have to go in a lot to kind of get it to be super, super black. I like that it goes on more charcoal than anything. And even when you look at it in the pan, it actually comes off more of a charcoal color than it does actually jet black, which I'm not mad at all, because I do like that type of color. And the most fabulous color in this entire palette as far as the foils go is Trendy, which is the color I'm wearing on my lid right now. The most amazing duochrome shift. I absolutely love it. So let's get into the swatches. Okay, dolls, so now for those swatches. Okay, so first up, as I told you, this is Indie. This is the most stark color in the pan. I find that this is more on the taupey, beigey side of things, more so taupe, much more cooler than beige, so I do like it. There is your brush swatch, and there's your finger. Oh my gosh, you can barely see it. There's the finger swipe right next to it, okay? Then your next color is Bold. That is that paler peachy color that I was telling you about. There's your brush swatch. And there's your finger swipe right next to it. Super, super stark against my skin tone. Somebody with a fair skin tone could definitely pull this off. Then you have Edgy, which is this brown color right here. And I know the swatches are super close to each other, but this is your finger swatch right there. And that is your brush swatch right next to it. I really love this brown. You see what I mean when I say it swatches a lot darker than it looks in the pan? Yeah, I was really surprised by that. I almost had a moment when I had to do my eyeshadow over again, but I worked it out. But yeah, I do love how chocolatey and dark this brown is, so that's a really great find. And the last color for the mattes is Punk. There is your brush swatch and your finger swipe right next to it. So see, as you can see, it's much more so on the charcoal side of things rather than jet black, which I absolutely love. I have enough jet blacks to go around. I think I can do with some more charcoal. So this is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Love it. And for the star of the show, Trendy. I absolutely love this duochrome color. There is my finger swatch right next to it. It's huge because I love dipping into it. And there's your brush swatch right next to it. I love that. I wish it actually picked up on camera, but instead of shifting like a brown blue, like Mac's brown blue color, it actually shifts into a deep purple. So there's a blue and there's a purple shift to it, which I think is super, super pretty. I gravitated toward this bad boy. As soon as I opened the pan, I was like, I have to find a way to incorporate this into a look because it's gorgeous. Okay, dolls, so that does it for my review of the Tarteist Pro palette. I absolutely love this thing. I am so happy that I grabbed it as soon as it came out. I knew I wasn't going to be disappointed just jumping on the bandwagon before seeing any swatches or anything. As soon as I heard they had a Pro palette coming out, I was online ordering it. I just had to. The packaging is amazing. I love how sturdy the plastic is on this. Of course, you know, I've heard other people say that they don't like the fact that the fingerprints show up on here, but I think it's probably going to be pretty easy to wipe off. I don't mind that. I love how the colors are laid out in the palette, how easy it is to come up with looks when you open this bad boy and sit in front of it. You're not too overwhelmed. I love the quality of the shadows. As I said to you before, you know, with the foils, you're definitely going to probably have to use a glitter glue if you do want those shadows to pop and show up as they do in the pan. If you're a person who likes your shimmers to be a little more subtle, then you'll be fine with just using them dry. But I personally love to have them pop, as you can tell on my lid. So I definitely went in with a glitter glue, and I found that the color payoff was amazing. So definitely, like I said, if you've been contemplating about this palette, or you've heard about it and you're like, okay, I want to wait until I hear what other people say, don't contemplate anymore. This palette is so woman of color friendly. So in my eyes, I see this palette as a winner all around, because the only colors that I think that I would be, you know, not using as much would be maybe this row right here. Other than that, I find that the rest of the palette is so talking to me. This is so up my alley. So I'm very happy with this. So, as I said, if you don't get it, get it. Believe me, you'll be happy, okay? Alright, dolls, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give a thumbs up, and do comment on the way out if you have any questions that you want to ask me, or any comments that you want to make on the palette if you yourself have it and have had a different experience with it. Please go ahead, leave that in the comments section. I love to hear all of my beautiful dolls' comments. I love to interact with you guys. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe on the way out if you haven't already. And I will see you next week, dolls. Until then, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and we'll see you next time, gorgeous.